Él tiene que ir al baño.
I don't think it's that good, buddy.
Yeah, you don't have to finish.
But it's sustenance. You don't waste food down here.
Exactly. Ooh,
Just
Yeah.
find a chicken and give it to a chicken.
I don't think even
I
the
have done
chickens
that
want
once.
it.
Our scrap food. I was like, instead of throwing it away, I'm just gonna give it to the random chickens on the street. So I did that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh,
yeah.
there's Dad.
Anyways, so that's the biggest news is like gang fights and stuff and assassinations.
Mm-hmm.
And then also baptisms, lots of baptisms. And
The difference is crazy.
awesome.
You got a few assassinations and a few baptisms, you know.
Yeah, kind of
You
evens
know,
out.
baptism, assassinations, the works.
Yeah.
And what is the craziest thing that's happened? I don't know.
Well, Dad is downstairs, so let's migrate.
Bet.
Yeah.
I have 22. Gosh dang it. I'm at 22. Okay.
Okay, so you said you had some crazy stories for us.
Anyways, and yeah, they did get after me for going over time a lot. So I can't go overtime, unfortunately. But yeah, so crazy stories. Well, the two gangs. So the other week there was, those 4 assassinations of the spies. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's been another assassination or 2. I don't know how many. At least 2. And we did divisions this week. So I went with Elder Jensen, one of our Zeals. So we did divisions. We did intercambios. And we went to his area, which is Planeta Uno, which is, right across the border, right next to the border. And so I guess some new gang news came out that to not be out past 8. And that was like, a broadcast or something. And we were like, it's fine. I mean, we're missionaries, And so we got told by a motor taxi driver to not be out past 8 because it's dangerous. And then we got told by another person to not be out past 8. And we were like, okay, they might just be saying that because, they're in on, the game stuff. And they told them don't be out past 8. But we're missionaries. So we thought, oh, it's fine. It's chill. And then our neighbor, one of our neighbors, Hermano Otis, he was like, hey, guys, you really shouldn't be out past 8. Like, genuinely. Because it does get dangerous. And we have noticed, like, past 8, there's, like, not very many people on the streets. There's, like, a couple. And so we're like, we should probably not be out past 8. Starting from now on. So, new rule for us is that lesson that goes past 8, finish that one up, and then just head back home or head to dinner. But the other day we stayed out past like 9:30, I think. Well, because we were working till 9, and then we went to dinner, and then we left dinner at probably like 9:40, so it was like 10, and we saw like some crazy stuff going on with like the cops. There was a bunch of cop cars and motorcycles, and then there was some shots, like a bunch of shots. So, and that was going on just like, down the street, and we heard it and we're like, what the heck happened? So pretty crazy stuff. And like, just even like a month ago, you'd see police every now and then around the place. And, they had their guns on them, but now I've been seeing police a lot, and they're always holding their gun across their chest. And so they're like ready to go at any moment. So, and then when we were in Planeta Uno, we saw like probably 3 gang dudes, walk down the street with their AKs. So it's kind of crazy, but I mean, the gangs respect the missionaries, so we should be good. But new rule that we have is to not be out past. Try not to be out past 8. You know, because we have dinner at like 8:30, and so after our lesson, just head to dinner. And especially don't be in the sketchy areas past 8, because apparently the other day when we were on divisions. So we were on divisions, and we were at this kid Jimmy. He got baptized the other day. We were at his house, and his house is literally right next to the border. And yeah, and I think we were there at like 7, and then we finished the lesson at like 7:40ish. And even then, it was sketchy. Like it felt sketchy around there because it's right next to the border, and it was like 7:40. And so we were like, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Because there was nobody walking down the street. You see the occasional person, but it's just freaky. I'm like, let's get out of here. So, yeah, we did divisions that day. And then for the other elders, they were over at our area, and they taught some people, Cindy and Ariani. They are so Pila here means like awesome, diligent. They like learning about the gospel. They like learning about the church. It's like great. Like they're Pila investigators. They're great investigators. And so I mean, the lady Cindy, she's been to church once. She came just this last Sunday, yesterday. Dude, it always feels like there's a gap between Sunday and P Day, even though it was yesterday. Like it always feels like a bit ago. It's like last Sunday. Oh wait, yesterday.
Mhm.
So yeah, yesterday she came to church, so that was her first time. And then we also talked to her yesterday. And we are like, how was church? How did you like it? She's like, yeah, it was awesome. It was great. I really liked it. It's very orderly, very, very nice and reverent, and it was awesome. And then her cousin, Ariani, we taught her for the first time like last week on Wednesday, I think. And we taught her with Cindy, who Cindy we taught like twice before, or three times. And then we just started teaching Ariani. And it felt like doing a lesson with a member present, because Cindy was like helping Ariani like understand. She was contributing to the conversation. Like she remembers so much of what we taught her, and she was we've been teaching. It's crazy. I mean, I've never seen an investigator do that. Because we'll try and do lessons with member present, or we'll just like bring out members to go with us, to, help add their testimony, help teach a couple principles and whatnot, and to add their testimony to whatever we're teaching. And it felt like one of those. Like we were teaching Ariana and Cindy, but Cindy was like adding and like testifying of her. She had her own testimony. It wasn't very big, but she was like, yeah, I mean, just from what the missionaries have taught me so far, I'm like, I love the Book of Mormon. I know it's true because she prayed about it. It's crazy. She's like amazing because we talked about the Book of Mormon and missionaries the first visit. How we're out for 2 years, we don't get paid. It's like service for the Lord, and then we go back to our country. And she was like, "Whoa, I thought you guys get paid to be here." A lot of people think we get paid to be here, or that we're forced into this, but no, it's all voluntary. And then we tell them, yeah, we actually pay to be here. They're like, what the heck? So it's very strange to them. It's very strange because they think we just get paid by our church to go preach. But no, we pay here. We pay to be here. What was I talking about?
You were teaching Cindy and Ariani.
Yes. Yeah, we were teaching Cindy and Ariani. And so she was, adding her own little testimony. Because first time we talked about missionary work. Oh yeah, missionary work. Yeah. And how, we don't get paid to be here and whatnot. Cleared up some misconceptions. And then we talked about the Book of Mormon. And she was like, it's the Mormon Bible. We're like, no, it's not our Bible. It's not our Bible. The Bible's the Bible. The Book of Mormon is the Book of Mormon. One doesn't replace the other. They're both testaments of Jesus Christ. And we both study both of them. And so the Book of Mormon is a little bit more clear, with its teachings, a little bit more clear, less open for interpretation. And then we talked about the apostasy a little bit, and we gave the example of a mirror, how, when a mirror falls and shatters, it breaks into a bunch of little pieces. And that was our example, the church of Christ that he established on the earth. Or, well, yeah. The Church of Jesus Christ originally, kind of fell apart and, shattered into a bunch of little pieces. And then, some people came up and were like, oh, I like these pieces. I like these parts, but I don't like these. And so, I have 10 minutes left. Okay. I don't like these. Or I like, I understand this part, but I don't really understand this. So I'm going to go and make my own church. And, that's how so many churches on the earth now. It's because, everyone has their own little parts, parts they understand and interpret differently in the Bible. And, that's why there's so many different churches. Anyways, so, yeah, we taught her, and then we started teaching her cousin with her. And it's amazing. She remembers so much of what we teach, and she really likes the gospel. And I think we'll definitely, that's like a guaranteed baptism. I don't know. But she seems so pure. So she's awesome. And then there's this other kid, Freddie. He's also really pure. He's awesome. He really likes what we're teaching. He likes the gospel. He liked going to church. And he's 14, but he looks like he's 18. It's crazy. People don't look their age down here. It's crazy. But we've been teaching him, and we invited him to baptism, but he was like, I don't know if I'm ready yet. I'm like, and we try to explain, that baptism isn't like, the goal. It's like your first step to being a disciple of Jesus Christ. It's the first step in, making covenants with God, to follow him and to, take upon you the name of Jesus Christ, and to try and be more like him and try and follow his gospel and his example. But he was like, I'll wait. I don't feel ready yet. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And so currently I think we have 3 fetches, 3 dates for baptism. One of them fell, which is a crazy thing and also really sad. One of our fetches that we had, baptismal dates, fell because the guy became a gang member. Because we were teaching him, and he was the guard. He worked as a security guard. He worked 24 hours, had 24 hours off, and he, I guess, at some point within the last couple of weeks, he was like, "Hermanos, I can't meet with you guys this week. Sorry, but I'll try and see if I can next week." And then apparently he got a new house, so we were like, "Oh, nice showing." He got his own house now because he was living with his mom, I think, before, or someone. And so he got his own house now. It was a pretty crappy house, and we figured out where he lives. He lives pretty close to where his mom originally lived. It's on a corner street. And he's like, "Yeah, you guys can come by next week." And then next week happened, and then he's like, "Unless you get, you guys can't come by my house. Sorry, because I'm working all the time." And then he's like, "I don't know." And then he just started ghosting us. And then we talked to her friend Daneri, the Mia and Diana, and Kelly, the people we've baptized. We baptized half the family, and so right now we're teaching the other 2 daughters, and one of them seems like the gospel, the other not so much. So we might be able to get the whole family baptized. That'll be awesome. But Diana and Mia, they're friends of Miguel, the guy that became a gang member. And Diana was telling us that, yeah, he's hanging around the muchachos now. And he's hanging with those people. And she's like, I'm pretty sure, he's with the gangs now. I'm like, Miguel, what are you doing? You're like 40. What are you doing, man? Ugh. So, yeah, and apparently he's got a bunch of guns at his house now, which is why he doesn't want people over. And that's why he didn't want us to come over to his house. So, gosh dang it, Miguel. What are you doing? So, yeah, that fetch fell. And that is our first red point. Do not contact point. So, that's pretty unfortunate. But it is what it is. I mean, we talked to him for probably like a month before he did that. How you doing, other Herb? One of our yeah, that's my fan. One of our fetches fell. We'd been teaching him for like a month because he joined a gang. He joined the gang and he's hanging around with the muchachos now. So that's our first red point. That really sucks. He liked the gospel. He liked church. He was like, yeah, it was great. It's the best I felt in a while. And then he goes and joins the gang. So I'm like, gosh dang it, Miguel. Anyway, so that sucks. Anyways. And then let me look. I don't know. So that's really unfortunate, but yeah, so I think we can definitely get oh yeah, and then so in total we've had 8 baptisms this month, which is awesome.
Wow.
Like
Yeah,
that's a lot. That's a
that
lot.
is a lot.
And, but I know baptisms aren't everything, but because we're trying to make disciples of Jesus Christ. And
Mhm.
you know, baptism really, if you can get people baptized, usually that means, they have the desire to follow Jesus Christ and follow his example. So yeah, I mean really, we're just teaching. And one of this family as well, Leonardi, that he really loves the gospel. And he really understands what we're teaching. He's really smart as well. He finally came to church the other week, and so we've been teaching him a bit. And then we came back and taught him again. We were like, how was church? How did you like it? And he was like, it was amazing. It's like completely different than all the other churches I've been to. It's very orderly. I love I love how it's like structured. I like that the members are really involved, and it's not just like a pastor preaching and yelling on the stand. I'm like, I know what you mean. Oh, yes. I have like 6 minutes left. Oh yeah. And he's like, I love the sacrament. That's something I've never really seen. And so we taught him about what sacrament really means, because all he knew was that it's the body of Christ and the blood of Christ. It's like a representation. And so he loved it. He loved church, and his wife too. And they're actually married. They're actually married, because that's the biggest thing that's holding a lot of these people back here. Is so many families that aren't married, or lots of couples. Like probably 98% maybe of couples aren't married. But these guys are, and they're really smart, and they love church. So baptism incoming, maybe. But he loves the Book of Mormon. He's very Pila. He loves the Book of Mormon. He's been reading it quite a bit, and he believes it to be true. He loves the church, and so we're going to invite to baptism next time. Well, we asked him to pray about the church, and from what we've taught is true. Pray about if the Book of Mormon is true. He says, okay, I'll do that. So we'll see. Next time, I think we'll invite to baptism maybe. But that family, they're awesome. So let's go. And then on divisions as well, we met this one lady that she was the most Pila person I've ever met. Like, she'd been only taught 3 times, and the first time they taught her, they placed the Book of Mormon, and she's been reading it a lot. She's already on 2nd Nephi, and it's been like 2 weeks.
Wow.
And so she's been reading. She's like, I love this book. It's so good. And she's all like gung ho about the Book of Mormon, and she's come to church already once on her first week. I've got 1 minute left. Gosh dang it. Okay. Okay. Anyways, but It's been a fantastic week. I need to manage my time better on Messenger. Gosh dang it.
Okay, you can send us a
But-
long email.
Yes, I'm gonna write up an email because I've got time right now. I'm gonna write up an email, and just like throw in some stuff. I don't know. Anyways, so sorry, gosh
gotta
dang it,
go.
I don't have much time. Yeah, I gotta head out. Anyways, love you guys.
Good luck.
Love you, mom.
Love
Love you, Jeremy.
you.
Love you, grandma. Love you, dad.
For sure.
Crap. Okay,
Time's up.
there we go. Good. Okay. All right. Anyways, so take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys next week. And I love you, mom. Take care of yourself.
Love you. Stay safe.
All right. I will. I will. I'll be safe. We're gonna be safe.
All right.
I've got the Lord with me.
Yep.
But yeah. Anyways, love you guys. Take care of yourselves.
Love you.